in order to feed her own kids, this single mom became a war mogul and funded King Charles I's enemies with his own money. Let me explain. Theodosia Harrington, who is our follower Darren's 14th great-grandmother, was a woman of noble birth and married another noble and was expecting to have a pretty good life. But when she was in her 30s and they already had 5 kids together, her husband, Edward Sutton, left her for another woman. And to add insult to injury, the other nobles mocked this situation by saying that he left her for a coal miner's daughter, basically making an embarrassing class dig at her for being left for a woman of lower status. And so now, being left to raise 5 children under the age of about 12 or so on her own, she was set to have to move in with distant family members in order to survive, or else she would become destitute. However, Theodosia was quite witty, and so she took a diamond that we don't really know how she got it, but we can assume since she came from a slightly noble family that it was probably a family heirloom, and she sold it to King Charles I. And apparently it was a pretty huge diamond because at the time it sold for 1,700 pounds, which if translated to today's value is around a few $100,000. So instead of just sitting on this money and living out the rest of her days off this small fortune, she took that money and lent it to the Scots and to Parliament as they were fighting King Charles I. And so King Charles bought this diamond from her, and with King Charles's money, she financed his enemies in their fight against him. Crazy savvy by Theodosia to be able to take that money and not only survive, but to thrive.